You know, this is probably the best movie I saw this year. It is great to be back to the theaters. I can say that much. Now let's get into it. Boy, oh boy, this movie finally answered questions from like 20 years ago or like 17 years ago. When did Incredible Hulk come out? It was a long time ago. Captain America: Brave New World. Well, you know, let's just like get into it. Let me see if I can remember exactly everything that happened. Well, all I can say, the first like 10 minutes reminded me of like a Saturday morning superhero cartoon, which I didn't mind. You know, it's the MCU. Come on, you know they gotta have the quick one-liners that like gotcha. Like it's corny, you know. But overall, I was like, oh, cool. That Captain America suit with the white. That looks so clean. Oh my gosh. He's got the little sentry, like in Helldivers or whatever. It looked pretty cool. You know, okay? You know, I wasn't over here like hating on it or anything like that. But like, setup is like, oh, there's a package. They're getting Sam, you know, new Captain America, right? And Joaquin, who's like, I guess he's like becoming Falcon, right? You know, so Captain Falcon Jr. here. They got to pick up a package. And we don't know what's in the package. What's going on in the package? And also, Ross is El Presidente here. Now I can say that about Harrison Ford. I felt, I don't know how everyone else felt, but Harrison Ford's an actor.
Correct!
And I did feel like out of all the actors in this movie, the man acts. You know, he's one thing I love about Harrison Ford, he's there for the paycheck. You know, he don't care about all the nerdiness, considering that he is he's like the pioneer of like nerd culture. I mean, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, now the MCU, Into the Wilderness, right? Did he do that movie? Anyways, come on, it's Harrison Ford. He's there for the paycheck and he gonna get his bag, which I respect that about Harrison Ford. Yeah, he's president, and from we all know from like the comics, you know, he's kind of like hard-headed, right? But throughout this movie, you see that he is like trying to change to win over his daughter, Erwin from Lord of the Rings, Steve Tyler's daughter. From Aerosmith. She's a Nepo baby? I didn't even know that. She's great in Lord of the Rings. I'll give her a pass. And I did like how the movie gave him that conflict. Like, he wasn't just like 100% like Ross, like where he's like, I'm gonna like Banner. He actually had some kind of like slight depth to him to some degree. But anyways, what I also like is Isaiah Bradley. You know, another super soldier in his right. I did like his acting as well. I did, his acting chops were there too. And so basically the story here is that Captain America, you know, what if we get buddy with the government again? You know, Isaiah is not too fond about that, all things considering, you know, the fact that he was in prison and like experimented on, you know, so he's got a little soft spot there. But hey, it's like the president wants to invite the homies over, and Sam is like, you know, it would mean a lot to him if you came. And a relationship we see a lot is between Sam and Isaiah, where it's like Steve's gone, or he's retired, I guess he's old now, so having Isaiah there to kind of like, you know, teach him how to be Captain America, it's kind of nice. Old generation passing down knowledge from new generation. And then in a way, Sam also has to be a teacher himself by like teaching Joaquin some things or two. And how I describe Joaquin and Sam's dynamic, it reminds me of like your supervisor's gone for the day, and he leaves like the two teenagers in charge. They're gonna have fun, you know, they're gonna play with their gadgets, and that's kind of funny. It made me feel like, oh, you know, I would love to put on some wings and go bust in a secret fort, right? And then they got a couple of boomer jokes for Isaiah, you know, like, what's airdrop, right? So they get to the White House, and that's when we get to the reveal that, oh, the celestial being, which, you know, Internals kind of left me hanging with that one, and I'm like, finally we get something with that. And I have to point out that like the man, I hate ads on YouTube where they be like showing the entire plot. Like I found out adamantium was going to be like a big part of it pretty early on because of a stupid like YouTube ad that I couldn't skip, and I was like, I kind of wanted to be surprised about that. That would have been really cool, me sitting in the theater like the celestial being has adamantium in it, you know, that would be cool. But no, they gotta do me like that every single time. Anyway, celestial being has adamantium. Cool. Wolverine, right? Spoiler, they don't tease Wolverine at all, you know, which I can see why would they, you know. We haven't gotten that. We're still barely dipping our toes with putting the X-Men in the MCU, so baby steps. Like I said, we barely got answers for Incredible Hulk in this one, so there's that. So all of a sudden, Isaiah and a couple other dudes, they start shooting up the place, and it's weird because Isaiah like doesn't really seem like he has control of the situation. Like somebody almost brainwashed him, right? That's gonna be important later, everybody. So they put him in custody, and this part is actually kind of sad, where like Isaiah's like, I don't want to go back, don't put me back in there, you know, save yourself. And it's really sad. It's a really sad moment. There are definitely parallels to like so many injustices in our own like system. Sad moment, you know. I I really felt for Isaiah because he finally came to a point where like he, I guess, got comfortable, you know, and he's been thrown back in jail and like might face the death penalty, and he was wrongly accused. But Sam is like determined to free his name, and that's what's great about Sam. He's like, I'm gonna do it for my homies. I'm gonna do it for my friends, and that's why Cap gave him the shield, right? So this homegirl right here, hated her character. She was annoying, but over time she grows on me. Sabra is her name. She was trained in the Red Room, so she's like a Black Widow or whatever, like, you know, one of those assassins or whatever. She grows on me. Okay, so like eventually they're investigating what's going down. Also, Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad's in this. Was a Serpent is the agent he's a part of? Yeah, he's in this too. He does a couple of moments where he is like hunting Sam down. Honestly, I feel like his character wasn't utilized a whole lot. I did hear this movie had a lot of reshoots, so maybe he had more of a role there. But he was in there just enough to kind of justify him. Like, he gave some info here and there, but kind of was just there. Although the scenes where he was in there was pretty cool. He out there like throwing knives, reloading his gun epically. It's Gus, okay, from Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul, right? I love this man. And it's definitely one of those like, okay, there's a bigger strings being pulled here. And they're teasing someone. They're teasing a villain. Kind of know who this villain is already based off clues I get. We do see footage of like Abomination and the Hulk fighting, like from what, like, was that movie 17 years ago, 16? Yeah, I don't remember what I said earlier. 20. And so I kind of figure out who's this gonna be. One of the craziest things about the MCU is like wrapping up all these loose ends. It's like Mordo, like whatever happened to him. Was he in Doctor Strange, the second one? A different version? I don't remember. There's too many storylines to keep up with everything. And then like Abomination, he was in She-Hulk, but then didn't She-Hulk rewrite the entire script because she broke the fourth wall? Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to keep up with all this. Anyways, they like Sam and Joaquin, they gotta go. They're trying to go figure out like, well, okay, what's going down here, right? Ross is like, I gotta keep this treaty going. If this treaty doesn't work, we're doomed. He's taking pills, and they're like, what's going on here? Why is he taking these pills? He looks fancy-pantsy with it. So Joaquin and Sam, they eventually go hunt down a base. In the base, they find Mr. Badinsky, Samuel Stearns, the leader, which they, like I said, they teased that thing years ago. I remember like you see his like brain get all big, and I bet all the nerds back in the day were like, oh my God, they were like creaming themselves like, oh my God, it's the leader, my favorite super villain. Oh, I can't wait to see him in like a decade. But when they did finally show him, he looked creepy. He looked disgusting, which I appreciated. I didn't know if that was practical effects. It looked practical, and if it was, appreciated. I did like the design. I love the glowing eyeball. He looked like a frog almost. And Tim Blake Nelson, he's an actor. Like I'm saying, Mr. Badinsky, holes, he's an actor. So they figure out he's been brainwashing people. Also, he's doing something to General Ross. We don't know yet. He's very big brain in his plans. He's seen the ends of times or whatever like that, right? So they're like, okay, what do we do here? Sabra, is her name? She pulls up and is like, what did you guys find? And this is when she starts kind of becoming cool. She's no longer like a jerk about everything. She's starting to believe Sam a little bit. Like, okay, they're brainwashing people. Maybe you're right. Maybe Isaiah was innocent. Because like guards are out here killing like the witnesses, the hostages, the criminals or whatever. So that's kind of suspicious, right? So after a narrow escape from the base, because like, you know, they get the guards there get brainwashed or whatever, they go meet up with another army guy. It's like, I don't remember who it is. I don't know. Like, I was trying to figure out who this guy. They make it with some army dude or whatever to try to figure out like what's going on with this mind control and like, you know, the rest of the big brain plan. Little by little, you are kind of seeing that like the leader's like, oh, he probably wants to, you know, do an all out war, right? Between like this treaty and all these other, was it Japan and like, was it India and France? They all want to try to share resources for the adamant, you know. But then like there's a whole like, did Ross like steal the adamantium sample on purpose or you know, all that kind of like backstabbing, like what America does like all the time. In like the world, right? But there's moments where like, okay, so like there's something's definitely off with Ross, and he's very getting angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And I did appreciate what Ford did here. I felt like that was teased really well. It was like, okay, there's something wrong with Ross. What's wrong with him? I mean, we know what's wrong with Ross, obviously, because you know they spoil everything in the trailers, right? And I guess I gotta get people in the theaters, right? The fact that Red Hulk was gonna be in this, I was like, kind of want to see it. Red Hulk is pretty cool, right? So, but I think they did tease that fairly well of like, oh, he's slowly changing. At this point, Sam, Joaquin, Sabra, they're like, we got to pull up. Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones is about to cause all out war against the nation, right? So we gotta take care of that. So they go do that. And then Sam and Ross have a little heart to heart, literally about his heart. He's like, look, I teamed up with Padinsky because I was dying. He gave me medicine. I was going to keep him alive to help me out, but I was dying. You know, I wanted to live long enough so my daughter can see the type of person I am. I've changed, but like in a way he kind of hasn't, but also he has. You feel kind of sad for him actually a little bit there. That's when Sam's really good at talking people down. And I think there are many times I actually make jokes about this where he's like, you're going to talk me down. That's kind of Sam's skill. He ain't a super soldier. You know, he's got to learn he's got to level up his diplomacy, right? Speech level 99. So he's like, look, our fighters have gone rogue. They're trying to shoot at the Japan fleet. We got to stop them. Sam, can you help me? So Sam and Joaquin, they fly up. Cool air battle. A lot of cool scenes of them flying over the celestial and air sky. It was kind of dope. He's using like his Wakanda gear. It's awesome. Pew, 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 pew. Joaquin gets shot down. They de-escalate the situation, but Ross does almost go full, because, you know, like Padinsky calls him and he's like, listen here, Ross, like, you better turn angry. The anger, he's like, the anger flows within you. That was a pretty intense scene of like, oh, is he gonna turn to the Hulk? Like, he can't turn to the Hulk right now because I heard the Red Hulk is only 2 minutes in this movie and it was next to cherry blossoms, but we're in the middle of the ocean. There's no way, using context clues from what I got in the trailers and what I heard online. So there's no way it can happen right now. Like, is he gonna do it? He doesn't turn to Red Hulk, but it was very like, he was there, and I love that tease. I love that tease of it of like, yes, you can't just throw in Red Hulk. You gotta edge me a little bit, okay? So situation gets de-escalated. We're all good here. We go back home, right? But then we find out, oh no, there's gamma radiation in the pills. But the leader, he's there and like, I'm sorry I have to do this to you. Pretty much blows the guy's heart out. Disgusting. That's like a way to go. I mean, I think I'd rather him shoot me in the head than have him like rupture my heart. So Han Solo's giving his speech saying like, we did it. We did the treaty. We're all good. Sam's like, phew, finally. But before that, though, like, we also had Joaquin, like, he almost died. I feel like the scene was put in there just to like, give the Bucky cameo. Because, like, Joaquin did a maneuver that Sam was like, don't do that. But he's like, I got it, you know? But he also is kind of young and, like, reckless, so I can get why he did that. And then he's like, oh, he almost died. We gotta have the scene where Sam feels sorry for himself, you know? And that's when Bucky comes. I knew Bucky was gonna come in there, right? And I had to. He was in the TV. He was in the Captain Falcon TV show. Captain Falcon and the Frost Soldier, you know? Yeah. So he was there, giving like, hey, man, it's gonna be okay. Steve believed in you. I believe in you. I'm gonna be a congressman. Sabra walks in like, damn, he kind of hot. For real though. Sebastian Stan, another good actor here. He played Tommy Lee, didn't he? So he gets the speech. He gets the pep up. He's like, dang, maybe I should have taken the serum. He's like, no, you should have taken the serum. But later on, he's like, I should have taken the serum. Because, you know, we get to the final battle, right? The speech goes on. The leader's like, this is all according to my evil plan. I'm making these kids dig holes. So Ross finds out that the leader leaked the story about him. You know, he's like sitting there like spewing all this hate speech. He's got the intercom on, like saying all these things that really egg him on. Ross is like losing control. The gamma radiation has built up so much in him, and then like you see him, you know, like American Werewolf in London, like I'm going green, I'm going red, it's clobbering time. And he turns to the Hulk, which dope transition, I'd say that much. And at this point, it's okay, if President Ross turns to the Hulk, there's a moment like, do we shoot him? It's kind of like a hard question, but this is the part where like, okay, I felt this is the climax of the movie. It made me feel like when I'm watching like an old Godzilla movie. I quote Godzilla too much, but like it's like, oh, we tease up the final battle between the monsters, and that's like, as a kid, that's what I would fast forward to all the time. And this is the part of the movie where like, okay, we've teased up the final battle. Because I think the one thing about this movie I would say that I kind of enjoyed was, you know, so much the superhero movies have been like, you know, intergalactic forces, extraterrestrials, multiverse. This was kind of a laid back movie of, hey, like there's kind of more of a domestic, international like storyline. There's like one like big battle that goes on. It was a little more pulled back. So that's something like, okay, it was a nice break from like multiverse crap and all that, you know? So anyways, we get the fight between Captain America and Red Hulk, right? And it was really fun. It's been a while since we seen a Hulk like Hulk out. And you know what? The Harrison Ford as Red Hulk, General Ross, design I think looked really good. I don't know who did his haircut, but he kind of got the fade going on. And we had Red Hulk. He was out here like tearing it up. You know, he was destroying buildings. He destroyed the White House. He was using the American flag to beat up things, destroy helicopters. It was a Hulk. It was a Hulk, right? They lead the Cherry Blossoms now. Cherry Blossoms that make a significant thing because Ross, he's been trying to get in contact with his daughter. He eventually does at some point before he turns Hulk. And he's like, daughter, can we take a walk at some point like we did with the Cherry Blossoms? So I would love that, Dad. I'm sorry I didn't call when you like almost died because he almost got assassinated, right? It's like, oh, cool. Well, they might rekindle. It's kind of a nice moment for like Ross there. Because like from my comic understanding, Ross was always a hardhead. Like, why is he so bitter against like Banner? All because like he like slept with your daughter? Calm down, bro. Like, get over it. So anyway, they have the fight. Solid fight between the Hulk and Sam. You know, Sam really got to use his his techniques here, and this is the point when he's like, damn it, I should have taken that super soldier serum, because he's getting his hand whoop. I mean, he's fighting a Hulk, right? But eventually he you know, they've been fighting for a while, and Sam uses the best tool he has, his words. With his diplomacy, he's like, hey, Thaddeus, look at me. This isn't you. This is not what Betty would have wanted. Can we chill out? And he's like, you're right. And then we see a nice Harrison Ford, all shirtless and old. I will say, for Harrison Ford age, he's like, what? Is he like 70 or 80? I think he's like 82 or 78. He's old. He don't look that bad, I say, for his age, personally. Not bad. He's definitely old, obviously. But he looking all right. They calm all down. Peace is all there. We're all good. They send the president to Guantanamo, the raft, and he's like, look, I gotta do my time here. I was a bad boy. And that's when we see Arwen, Betty Ross, and it's all like, hi Dad, it's been a while since I've seen you. It's been like, I finally did the math, it's been like 17 years. Wait a minute, she was in Armageddon? I've actually never seen that movie. Maybe I'll watch that this year. So yeah, all is saved. Sam goes to the hospital, goes visit Joaquin. He's fine and gives a speech of like, I'm sorry, I'm not like you, you know, I'm not perfect, you know, I'm not a perfect person. I never meant to do those things to you. Sam's like, you know, I gotta be perfect because I gotta protect my folks. You know, that's what I gotta do. I'm the new Captain America. I gotta be tight and efficient. But someday, you know, like we'll prosper. You know, we're gonna prosper. We're gonna make it through it. You know. Joaquin's like, I want that responsibility too. Can I be the Falcon now? Yeah, you can be the Falcon now. I'm Captain Falcon, whatever. Happy laugh ending. Boom. That's kind of the movie. And then eventually, like, okay, we don't get an end credit scene until the very, very end. There's a Kendrick Lamar song that's pretty dope. And then in scene, you know, they're back at the raft. Sam is like, I won, Padinsky. And he's like, well, you think you're the only one? I'm trying to save the world too. You're just too pea-brained to notice. They're coming. They'll be here soon. Very like vague. That end credit scene reminded me of something that I would see in the like in the first MCU movies, where it's like a very vague, you know, I'm putting a team together, you know. I didn't think all of a sudden it was gonna be like Weapon X, we got adamantium, but bring in the specimen, Logan, Wolverine. You know, they weren't going to do that. But overall, you know, I enjoyed myself. The actors, you know, there's some good actors. I thought Ross had a nice, like, kind of this inner demon he was fighting. And for me, that was kind of like a very unique highlight of the movie. And the teasing of Red Hulk, I felt, worked for what they did. I think, you know, there could have been a danger of adding too much Red Hulk, but not enough Red Hulk. And if you're not going to have a lot of Red Hulk, let's tease that he is going to become Red Hulk throughout the movie, which they did. Definitely corny one-liners. It's an MCU movie. We got like maybe two? We got like Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts look like it'll be very cheesy. But Fantastic Four, Pedro Pascal, Cousin, Eddie, was she in Fast and Furious? Or Hobbs and Shaw? Yeah, she was. Anyways, that was Captain America, Brave New World. I don't have a title for this. I'll think of one. And yeah, it was my first movie of the year. So like, I had fun. It was a nice little outing, right? You know, if you want to catch a nice little, there's not many movies out right now. So if you want to catch something over the weekend, go enjoy yourself. Juice out. But why'd they make the toy look like that? Like, for real, like, they yassified him, you know, like they did with the Mii's on the new Wii Sports for the Switch. I mean, like, the popcorn bucket looked way better. Although nowadays, popcorn buckets are just, it's like buying a sculpture, like $40. Anyways,